Hi guys, welcome to Nightshade, a new visual novel, yaoi visual novel, of course. Don't even have to say that, that's assumed. Um, and I think it's neon, perhaps sci-fi? I mean it looks sci-fi here, so I'm assuming. It's a demo. The Kickstarter just went live, and of course, you'll find a link to the Kickstarter and the demo in the description if you're interested in trying it for yourself or supporting the game. But enough with that. Let's actually begin the game, and I will go ahead and turn off my damn camera for this anime cutscene. God, I'm so professional. Ugh, I give myself chills.
So, why would a person take someone's life?
Who knows? Maybe people make a living off that sort of thing. Why? What's eating you?
Nothing really. Just a passing thought. Speaking of, I'm hungry. Let's go get something.
Maybe later tonight. I've got somewhere I've got to be.
Good lord, that was loud in my ears.
Got somewhere I've got to be.
Do I need to adjust the sound volume? I'll have to adjust that in editing, because that was Lord on my ears. The devil was in my ears is where he was. How do I get to the options? Oh my god, I can't get to the options while I'm playing the game. Oh my god. Maybe okay, no I can't. Okay. Wait, no I can't. Oh my god, I can't. Wait, maybe I can? No, wait, maybe? Okay, that was a struggle. Well, first of all, you know, that the settings in that cutscene, they were just... Maybe it was based on master volume or something, or maybe it was based on nothing. I don't know. You know, I shouldn't even touch master volume. I should just touch voice volume. I don't know. Everything is just too loud in my ears. Alright, but I hope you guys enjoyed that cutscene. I liked it. It was nice. Alright, so some thoughts about that cutscene. Did my honey over here with the black and red hair, did he have? Was he not holding a paper thin phone? It was like paper, not even cardboard. It was paper. How do I get out of here? No, seriously, I'm trying to click off of it. I don't want to do a resume. Okay, God. I was looking for like an Xbox or something. But he had a paper thin phone, and I gotta keep it 100. The guy with the green hair, he sounded stiff as hell when he said nothing really, just a passing thought. I'm sorry. I would have told the voice actor, get back in that booth. Or rather, you know, get back in front of your PC, re-record that line, because you sound ugly as hell. Alright, well, I'm done putting on my gloves, because it's freezing out here. So let's get into this. If you look at that thing, it's paper thin. What is that? I guess it's the future, maybe. I don't know. Beep. I'm not sure how much voice acting this game has, because I did not read anything before I booted up this game. I saw a picture of the game. I booted up the game. High above the restless heartbeat of the city, a cloaked stranger crouched near the edge of a towering skyscraper. Strands of bright pink hair almost grazed the dark skyline above and were jostled as a gust of wind blew them about. His steeled gaze steadied onto the flow of traffic and the bustling commotion below. It was as if he was waiting, watching, searching for something. Or someone. Something down there suddenly caught his eye. The masked stranger reached into his back pocket and pulled out a phone. He glanced at the bright screen, assessing the information that came through. Target located. Wordlessly, the man slid the phone back into his pocket without hesitation. He quickly turned and disappeared down the fire escape, quiet and precise. Oh, I love these backgrounds. Oop. Guess this is Unity. Can't be pressing H to try to hide the dialogue box. I love that. The sound of labored breathing echoed through the alleyway as a frightened man staggered to his feet near a dumpster. Shadows were cast along brick walls adorned in ripped posters and haphazard graffiti. Okay. Okay, well, I already have some comments to make now. One shadow stalked the other from the cover of darkness, quietly approaching. Paranoia was beginning to set in like the slow push of a syringe. Okay, shoot up, honey. But, okay, so you see how this guy is semi-realism? He's drawn semi-realistically. Like, do you see that? Like, obviously not realistic. It's semi. Now, you compare that to the other two characters we just saw. And it looks pretty... That looks a little strange. He looks a little bit too realistic, and they look a little bit too unrealistic. What was that? The man gripped at his chest in fear. His voice cracked with the pressure of panic. Beads of sweat trickled down his furrowed brow. His wide-eyed gaze glanced around his surroundings frantically. He was being hunted. Ooh, gut him like a fish. No, wait.
What? No!
Oh, wait. Are they reading the dialogue for me or what? Across the city. Alright. The light from the fluorescent overhead gave off a gentle buzzing noise, filling the silence between the cashier and the young man at the counter who was obnoxiously taking a very long time to order his food. Something about the way the lazily swept floor and water-stained ceiling tiles were left carelessly unattended to suggest that this place was the place for the peak junk food. It was, without fail, Sasha's favorite burger joint in the entire city. If this was how he died, greasy burger in hand, then he was happy to go. You'd have to shoot me before I'm willing to eat a greasy burger. The cashier cleared her throat impatiently. Finally, after what seemed like forever, Sasha tapped his fingers on the countertop and began his order. Okay, so he's not gonna voice act it. Okay. Well, then I'll go. I'll have, Imposter burger? That sounds a little bit strange. Is it, like, not real meat? Big old beef? Onion death? Oh, I'll take the onion. Sounds delicious. I'll have the onion death, no lettuce. Ooh, honey, you need a little bit of crispy green in there to break up all the fatty meat and whatnot. Saltiness. Okay, that'll be $4.60 something.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go. See you later. Sasha handed over the money and pocketed the change that came after. Later, Sasha. The cashier set his go-to bag on the counter and gave him a quick finger gun goodbye. Pow. Pow. He swiped the goods and headed out of the hole in the wall, and impatiently digging into the paper bag to retrieve and unwrap his burger. Without a second to lose, Sasha shoved the burger into his mouth, chewing delightfully.
Nice!
Oh man, this is the best! Night had settled over the city and painted the buildings in purple and blue hues. A string of streetlights led a path down the empty side street, guiding pedestrians home from their busy day. Sasha, with his burger in hand, passed by a collection of vending machines near an alley intersection. Okay, let's take a full look at your sprite. Oops, I hit H again. That's gonna be a running theme. Just like in room number 9, when I'd hit H. At least this doesn't bring up a help menu. Okay, that's like, we got some 90s jacket maybe? Technicolored 90s jacket or something. Very interesting, okay. His hand dug into his pocket and pulled out whatever he could find. He didn't have enough change for a cola, and lint was not a good currency. Aw, man. With a defeated sigh, Sasha continued on. It wasn't often that Sasha walked this way when heading home. The familiarity of the rundown infrastructures and the architectural melting pot that was the city, however, was always a welcoming sight. How did I read that? Let's try that again. The familiarity of rundown infrastructure and architectural melting pot that was the city. Okay, wait, this might not be English. The familiarity of rundown infrastructures and the architectural melting pot that was the city, however, was always a Wait, that's not I don't think so. I'm gonna say no, and in the comments you can either confirm or deny. Or you can either, say, yeah, you're right, Kuro, that's wrong, or you're wrong, Kuro, that's right. Confusing, but you know what I mean. Sasha glanced over at a small playground near the side street he continued down, noticing the way the greenery had started to overgrow certain structures and how neglected it all seemed. He grinned. Wow, I haven't walked this way in forever. I used to come here all the time. Nostalgia nudged at him, and he drew closer to the playground, taking in the familiar sight curiously. I played at this park every day after school. Not that there's really much to play with. The playground looks exactly the same as it always has. Just a big empty dirt lot. Well, and the swings. And, one busted slide, and the monkey bars I fell off of once. Sasha walked over to the empty swings and slowly sat down, unwrapping the rest of his burger for easier access. He took another bite and looked around the desolate playscape. His other hand grabbed onto the rusted chain that held him up while he swung back and forth a bit. Honestly though, this park kind of sucks. I'm surprised this place wasn't bulldozed for apartments or something. Kids didn't really play here back then. And they still don't. I mean, look at this place. He laughed to himself gently, taking another bite of the burger. He was far too hungry to wait until he got all the way home to finish eating. It's pretty much just a place for... It's pretty much just a place for teens to smoke and skip class. I mean, even I did it. Back then, there weren't a lot of kids to hang out with, really. I guess Mishka? Mishka was there after a while, but he doesn't count. Okay, childhood, we love that. But it's whatever. It beats sitting in an empty apartment every night. Sasha dug the tip of his shoe into the mulch beneath him, lost in thought, momentarily forgetting the world around him while his memories played out in his mind. Usually, who are you talking to, Sasha? Is he saying this out loud, or is this his inner monologue? I don't know. Usually, I stayed out pretty late, but when the sun disappeared behind the young? Is this Russia? It sounds like a Russian word. Or something. Is German word? No, well, maybe Russian. Khrushchevka. Khrushchevka. But when the sun disappeared behind the Khrushchevka near the school, I'd head home. What's a Khrushchevka? Oh, walking home alone was fine since we didn't live very far. Plus, there was this little corner store right by our apartment that I always stopped in. Yeah, because Sasha's a Russian name, I want to say. At least, calling a men being named Sasha is a Russian name. Women are named Sasha everywhere, but only in Russia would you name a man Sasha, I think. Maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. That place was loaded. Like, I could grab dinner for me and Mom when she worked late. I'd also pick her up some of the apple pierogies she loves so much. I swear, sugar runs through her veins. I can't. Pierogi. What? Honey, nothing is getting pronounced correctly, so you can just go ahead and accept that, or just not accept reality. Probably where I got it. She still can't stay mad at me if I give her one of those. Don't know what one of those are, but okay. The fondness he felt made him grin at his feet. I grin at feet all the time. I don't have a problem. Man, time really flies. Huh? Sasha, startled by the sound of his phone buzzing away in his pocket, reached into his jacket and pulled out the device. Oh, do I have to click on it? Fine. I'll do it. You know, that reminds me. Apparently, in the ocean at night, if you remember that demo that I played, apparently I could click on the phone a lot more throughout that entire demo and like see a lot of extra dialogue between them, but I never did it because I assumed you would only use it when it like forced you to use it. I don't know, this just made me think about that. I think Red Sean told me that. Anyway, I don't know. Hey man, Alexei gave me this number and said if I want anything to meet up with you. Is that good? My place or yours, lol.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, try not to do that again. Who is this? I only meet up in public. When do you want it? That's kind of risky. Don't message me this late, I'm off the clock. Well, I only meet up in public. And I know that's risky, but hey, you know, it's just whatever turns you on. Okay, that's just what he said. Taryn, how's tomorrow night at Jukebox? Top 40 night, lol. Stop saying lol. Okay, meet me at the bar at 10. He looks freaked out. He shoved his phone back in his pocket, a feeling of irritation pushing his brows into a furrow. Just give my number to anyone, that's fine. Totally not creepy at all. The earlier feeling of fondness had melted into agitation. Sasha crumpled the burger wrapper into a small ball and tossed it into the recycling can as he stood from the swing. Getting really late now. I should probably get going. He glanced over his shoulder at the empty street behind him, a small chill prickling at the back of his neck. Yeah, it was time to go. The streetlights began to spread out further he walked, becoming less and less frequent along the way. The darker the paths became, the more Sasha found himself glancing over his shoulder, his hands shoved into his pockets. His pace quickened, not bothering. You probably just noticed my eyes went wide. It has nothing to do with the game. Not even bothering to stop when he passed the corner store, despite the aroma of apple pierogies, yeah. Neon signs flickered irregularly in the windows of the establishments that were closed for the evening. The occasional Samaritan became few and far between. If you guys want to know why I stutter over my words constantly, it's just because I'm not actually listening to the game's audio with my headphones that are like in my ears right now. No, I'm actually using Voice Jammer. You know that app? Yeah, I'm using that app on my ears while I'm doing this. That's a good excuse, you know. It sounds reasonable. The occasional Samaritan became few and far between. Sasha looked up and noticed he was approaching his apartment building, a newfound urgency ballooning in his chest. Keys. Where were his keys? Flies beat against the corridor light bulb behind him. Sasha stood in front of his apartment door. His hands fumbled for the keys, and he had to be somewhere on him. Should I just not ever record anything that has reading again. So everything, anything. He sighed with relief when he felt them and quickly moved to shove the small key into the deadbolt. Like, I did not used to be this bad at reading, guys. Honestly, like, I have become worse at reading the more I do it. There was no unlocking sound. Sasha's heart fell into his stomach. Did I leave this unlocked? I could have sworn I locked it. His heart raced in his chest. Now, for a second, I thought that was like a blood smear at the top left of the screen, but no, it's just some ugly flag you hung up in your room for some reason. As quiet and careful as he could, Sasha placed his hand on the middle of the door and pushed. It opened a crack and gradually created a space big enough for him to slide through. His eyes were wide in the darkness of the small studio apartment, trying to adjust as best they could. He reached over and quietly set the keys onto the TV stand next to him. Something had fallen over, and it sounded like it came from nearby. He turned his head in the direction of the noise, now noticing the light that illuminated from the small bathroom tucked away in his closet. Ooh! What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a sexy man broke into an apartment or an ugly man? A spike of panic sent a burning, rigid sensation along his arms, and gripped at his chest tightly. Weapon! He needed a weapon! As quietly as he could, Sasha reached into a drawer near the TV stand. His fingers tightly gripped the knife he pulled out. You just have a knife sitting in your TV stand? Okay. It was almost impossible. I mean, if you live in the projects, you know, line your house with weapons. It was almost impossible to calm the heartbeat he could practically feel in his throat. He took a few steps forward, holding the knife close. He was closing in on the bathroom door, heart pounding. Every hair on the back of his neck stood on end, his knuckles almost white with how tightly he held his weapon. The other hand lifted and pressed against the middle of the bathroom door. He tried to still his breathing with one slow, shaky exhale. Suddenly, he shoved the door to the bathroom with all his might, and with his other hand lunged forward, just gonna stab without looking? Okay. Alright.
Did you really think you'd win in a knife fight against me? Sasha.
What is this? You having some kind of traumatic episode? Oh, is that the end? My lord. That was pretty fast. Well, I mean, I guess I am intrigued, though. I didn't realize it'd be that short, you know. I was so worried, actually, but I was taking so long to get through so little content of the visual novel. I was worried that the video would drag on, but, you know, this ain't gonna drag on, sis. It's been less than 24 minutes. This ain't dragging on. But, it was interesting. It was, the setting is fairly interesting. I wish we got to see a little bit more of the setting, though. It's just like, where are we? Like, are we in Russia? Are we in just some fictional city somewhere? Fictional country? I don't know. Were those two characters, were they dating at the start, or were they just friends, or what's, you know, in that anime cutscene? I don't know if, like, is Sasha dating that man? Who was he, Mishka? I don't know. Questions, lots of questions. Questions are good. The aesthetic was delightful. It was delightful. I can say that much. And I liked it. I hope you all liked it, because that's where this video is going to end. And if all of those at home right now could pray for my reading, my auditory reading skills, you know, if those listening at home could do that for me, that would be great, because I need some help. Yes. So, support the game. You can go to the description in the below.